Good morning, everybody. It is about time for me to make another delivery. We're on 605 freeway in Southern Cal right now, heading down toward Wilmington. Wilmington is over in the Long Beach area. I'm currently in between the 210 and 10 freeways. Looks like I am going to have a slowdown coming up here. Traffic's been surprisingly very nice all the way down here so far, but I do see some kind of a slowdown coming up here. It looks like I'm going to have to take a while. I guess it's an accident because it was not there when I left the house. And this traffic's not bad at all. So it's actually very nice. They're moving very well. Not very heavy. I wish the traffic could be like this all the time. 20 minutes to the 105 freeway and 30 minutes to the 405. Okay, so I'm on my way to K-PAC in Wilmington with this load. I do not have a pre-plan yet, but I know the planners are busy setting drivers up with reloads now. Alright, look how we got our slowing right here, just as I expected. Yeah, it's stop and go up here on both sides of the 10. Some of this could be transition traffic, but I think this is something else, because whatever it is goes past the 10 and almost to the 60 freeway from what I can tell. Almost to the 10 now. Alright, so I had some, I was coming down to Cajon Pass this morning. It's another example of why you constantly need to remind people, do not overuse your brakes going down the hills. This can really apply to everybody, even in cars, but see, I just got a pre-plan right now. I'll wait for it to come through my Qualcomm and I'll listen to it then. Anyway, when I got down to the bottom where the 15 and 215 meet, right after I got past the 215, there was it wasn't Covenant, was it? One of the major carriers, some guy was stopped there right by the creek bed there, over the top of it, that area, and its brakes were smoking like crazy. Why is that? Because he's not going down the hill properly. See, they're probably in too high a gear coming down, and he's using his service brakes way too much. Or he's got a problem with his jake brakes and doesn't know how to properly compensate for inoperative jake brakes. If your jake brakes are not working right or at all, because there was a point in time before I got into trucking, but I'm aware of it from actually listening to other people talk who have been around a while. There was a point in time when trucks did not have jake brakes. And the practice back then to keep from overheating your brakes was to drive slow. Go slow and in a lower gear. And because the faster you're going, the more heat your brakes generate and the less effective they are. So the slower speed, your brakes become more effective, and they also they don't generate as much heat, so they're not as prone to overheating. So for that reason, you're supposed to...
you have 6 hours and 37 minutes of remaining drive time.
Drive slower going down hills if you don't have good jake brakes. Do yourself a big favor. If your truck has good serviceable Jake brakes, okay, a lot of this looks like people trying to get over to the 10 freeway and just wait until the last minute to move over for it. I did see an overturned truck on the northbound side, not that much further down, before I got to the 210. That area is notorious for strong winds. I did get some gusty winds. Yeah, this guy's going to get on the 10 also, isn't he? That's part of this problem here. Everybody waiting until the last second to move over. Yeah, you see, he's trying to get on the 10. He's pulling a container. I don't know that he normally would be getting on the 10. I think he would normally be staying here on the 605, but probably doesn't realize that this problem here doesn't go that much further down. I mean, I should go down into the downtown LA area, but this is not looking like it's that far down the road before I can get around it, whatever it is. So I'll just go ahead and stay here. It's really only just a little bit more than one exit past the 10 freeway where whatever this is clears back up. So do I really need to worry that much about this? No. My appointment time isn't until noon. It's 10:19 right now. I'll be there before noon, even with this going on, more than likely. Oh, someone got impatient. Alright, I can pull up my CAD report. CHP incident info, and probably get info on what's going on over here. Area by distance, LA. We're on the 605. 605 south north of 60. Second collision just north of this location. Vehicle TC, unknown description. Traffic building fast, I think it said. That's 60 west. Let's see, what else? Oh, there's another one. No. Blocking the fast lane, whatever that one is. There is one on the northbound side at Alondra Boulevard. Isn't Alondra a little bit further down? Alright, there's one that started at 10:20 this morning. That was just, what? 10:20, I was right now. Oh, they have an opposite direction, that's why. 3 vehicle collision. White van, white, looks like pickup truck or something, and a white delivery truck blocking the number 3 and 4 lanes. Second collision 50 yards from the original because of people not paying attention. White sedan and black sedan. Moved most to right shoulder, blocking 3 and 4 closed. Alright, so might be alright here.
605 southbound, avoid the slow lane, merge over the fast lane, here's the fast lane, accident on the slow lane.
Copy that, thank you.
It's just passing Valley, there's a wreck, 2 fucking cars backed into a rig. The slow lane, bud, slow
it is up to 71 miles an hour. I mean, 71 degrees now, so it's getting really nice here. Mish, yeah, and whoever else it was talking about my shorts. I'm back in my shorts. You probably noticed here. Thankful to be out of that icy crap in New Mexico that caused so many problems.
South, slow lane is fucked up. Get over to the fast lane. See your trailer. You understand? And I can't help.
Whatever the hell that was. You understand? Almost sounds like a tamed down version of the head coach from The Waterboy.
Attention, a new important message has arrived.
I'm gonna keep burning.
Attention, a new important message has arrived.
I'm gonna keep burning off at my burning clock watching this shit. So I'm gonna go off duty. It's not technically legal, but so what? Why do I need to burn drive time sitting here in this mess? And welcome to California. We have the worst drivers in the country here, and this has a lot to do with it. A lot of careless people or aggressive people, and a lot more accidents happen here. It's not so much that we have all the traffic; it's the fact that people don't know how to drive. We have more accidents happening here every day than anywhere else. I mean, even Dallas area, which I hate dealing with, and even they don't have the kind of accidents that we have here. All right, let's take a look at the pre-plan. Grimway Farms in Lamont. Okay, one pickup, one stop. Picks up this evening at 5 and is going to Cleburne, Texas. Let's do the 9th. All right, that should be easy. That's real easy. Alright. No. Works for me. So I'll have to figure out where I want to get a washout done at. Actually, no, I can always come over to Vernon. There's a place there are places there I can wash out at. We even have an account with one of the places in Vernon, and then I can get on the 5 freeway from there and head up to Bakersfield. Because Lamont is over by Bakersfield. So basically I take 5 up over the Grapevine to Highway 99, then take 99 up, and then trying to remember which side of Bakersfield Lamont is on. I want to say it's on the northeast side or something like that. So it's got Arvin on the southeast side, and then I want to say Lamont is on the north side of Highway 58.
About another, I don't know, mile in front of you, out on there.
What? Okay, so depending on how this day pans out, I might be able to make this delivery, head up to Lamont, get that load picked up, and then get back to my house to end my day. And then do another 10, and then run tomorrow from... Now, Cleburne, Texas is, I want to say that's the one that's not far south of Fort Worth. So that load, I want to take I-40 across over to Amarillo, and then 287 down from Amarillo toward Fort Worth, and then you can kind of cut down. Oh, that's one of the ways. Another way would be to take 84 down from Santa Rosa, take it all the way down into Lubbock, and get on I-20, and then there's some other highways you can take from there.
You have 6 hours and 30 minutes of remaining drive time.
Trying to milk this as much as I can for off duty, especially when I'm running on recaps, and I think we're gonna end up getting above 5 miles an hour here. I'm at 4 now. Did I get the lanes cleared up or something? Because looks like we're moving better. Toledo towing with 2 trucks, ETA 20 minutes. That was at 10:21, so probably another 10 or so minutes the tow trucks will be here. So we'll get to see whatever this mess is. I don't know what they did over here to get us moving, but it is moving at least. I'll have to take that call later when I'm not recording. 10:30 local time. About another hour before I can actually check in. But we got some ducks flying eastbound here. Those things are so easy to, so distinctive when they're flying because those long ass necks on them. What is that blue car down there? It's an interesting one. Can't tell it's not a Corvette, is it? Doesn't really look like a Corvette. I mean, maybe it could be, but from what I can tell, it doesn't really. Okay, so this is part of the problem. You get all the I-10 eastbound traffic trying to merge in with us on top of what's already here on the 605. Valley Boulevard, half a mile away. 60 freeway, 2 1/4. That reminds me, because I was on Facebook earlier, and there are some aircraft-related groups that I'm in there. Obviously, because of my prior background. This one here, it is a Ferrari. Okay, that's what I thought it might have been. New Jersey plates. Where the hell? Yeah, I thought it might have been either Ferrari or Maserati or something. Anyway, so I'm bringing up these aircraft Facebook groups, and there was somehow the subject of the C-130 came up. I think it was because I think we were. Oh no, it was an aircraft. Someone posted a picture, a screenshot of a flight tracker radar thing, showing how there was an F-35 fighter jet squawking 7,700, which means they have an in-flight emergency. And they say, yeah, I don't see that too often. It's like, actually, that's a lot more common than you think, because it said when I worked on C-130, EC-130Es, it was very common for our airplanes to come in with one engine out, and they always declared an IFE would not happen, of course, for obvious reasons, but there were sometimes other issues that would cause them to IFE in as well, but more often than not, they would IFE in with an engine shut down, and most of those occasions, they would just shut the engine down as a precaution to prevent from doing more damage. Because they're got, C-130s are so good at flying with just 3 engines. They would shut down an engine in flight for no other, just for the specific reason of avoiding doing further damage to the engine, because it's so easy for them to keep flying on just 3 engines. So anyway, I talked about how I worked on those, and it was very common, and I said it was even more common watching A-10s and other tactical aircraft come in with IFEs even more frequently than our birds. I mean, because my squadron, we had 8 aircraft, and it was at least a once a week thing for us. And the A-10 squadrons there all had at least 30 to 35 whatever jets each, and they would usually gotta keep watching mirrors and all that. My mirrors and any other trucks that are in the neighborhood, like this van here or this container truck that just passed me. Anyway, yeah, it's very common to see fighter jets doing it, that are declaring IFEs. I swear, I think I used to hear them, the A-10s at DM call in IFEs like at least once or twice a day. Very, very common. And there's going to be anything from unsafe gun, unsafe munitions, something, a bomb or whatever, smoke in cockpit, unsafe gear indication, unsafe cabin, basically where the cabin is not, I guess, indicating that it's properly latched or something along that line. Any of those kind of things that can cause them to declare an IFE, and they're pretty common. Well, anyway, one of the other guys in the group had seen me talking about how I worked on EC-130s, and now he was not, I don't think he was military himself, but he said he had a couple, what was it, a class or whatever, something that he did that was aircraft involved. I don't remember if it was college classes or he did something on the civilian side, aircraft related, I forget. But he said there were a couple of people he knew who were stationed at DM. Now, one of them was a linguist, and the other one, I guess, was a mechanic of some sort. Well, he didn't really say what their specialties were, well, the other guy's specialty was, but said one of them was a female linguist. I'm like, there's a possibility I could know her, because while my unit at DM did not have linguists, the other two did. The other two C-130 units there, because they all have like what you call battle staff that fly in the back of the aircraft. And the compass call C-130s, which are the ones that I did not normally work on, but did spend time on, they usually did always have linguists flying in the back of them. And some of them were like the younger airmen. They lived in the dorms, on base, and I lived in I actually lived in their dorms for the first couple of years that I was there until my unit got their own dorms built. And so then, you know, he mentioned her name, like Karen such and such. Like, yeah, I don't think I know her. I mean, because there are people like if I heard their name, I'd probably recognize it, but that name, it didn't really stand out. Well, then he mentioned another guy by the name of Scott Decker. I'm like, why does that name sound familiar? Like, I mean, I should be wrong, but then, I mean, I don't know him so well, but I got to thinking, you know what? I think I do know who Scott Decker is.
5, right lane is closed.
Because, I remember...
Put on your flashers, both of them. You just got your turn signal on.
Anyway, yeah, when I went through tech school for C-130s, yeah, I'm saying, you know, everybody, yeah, you know, my Air Force career started. I started at Lackland Air Force Base and basic training like everybody else does. That's in San Antonio, Texas. After that, yeah, you go on to tech school, which for some could be could be there at Lackland, or especially for aircraft mechanic types, you end up mostly at Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Texas. They had some avionics types or electronic kind of people who would usually end up over at Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi, I mean. And then like the CE, you know, like the firefighter, CE, all those kind of types usually ended up at, like, I think it was Laughlin Air Force Base or Goodfellow Air Force Base, I forget. It was in Texas, I just forget which one of those two. It could have been Laughlin, I don't know. I think that's over by, what's that, Rio? Oh, it's right by, I want to say that's the one that's right by the Mexican border, west of Laredo. Rio Vista or Rio, I forget, something along that line. Or maybe it's Goodfellow. I forget. It's one of the two though. But anyway, I go to Shepherd for tech school, and when I went to tech school there to learn how to be a C-130 crew chief, the class I was in was the very last class they had that was what they call MRT, or Mission Readiness Technician, Mission Ready Technician. So what it is the MRT, they have it set up. The MRT program will explain that. That way, if any of you guys watching are interested in getting in the Air Force and becoming an aircraft mechanic, then this probably will give you at least some insight. Now, mind you, this was 25 years ago. I remember I enlisted in 1995. But I think that part of the training process is still the same today. Basically, for C-130s, you're at Shepherd for 5-6 months, something like that. And they go there, they put you through the ringer. All these different, they teach you detailed information about every system on the aircraft. Because by nature, a crew chief is what you call a jack of all trades and a master of none. We're so not expert on, not specialist in any particular system, but we have knowledge, at least enough knowledge to get by on every system on the aircraft. If you will, if you put it in a different way, we're more of a family practitioner type, where we know something about everything, but not a lot about one thing. Well, anyway, without making it, I guess we got all this time. I guess it doesn't matter how long my story lasts, I guess. Anyway, it's normally about a 5-6 month program or whatever, and then on the C-130 side, what happens is after they're done there at Shepherd, they go to Little Rock Air Force Base in Little Rock, Arkansas, and do a month of what's called hot training. So they basically get kind of a seasoning type of training on actual live C-130s that are actually going to go out and fly missions, and it's a training squadron that they would do this in. So, you know, the pilots, the flight crew is also new to the C-130 as well, and they're mainly just there doing training flights. Yeah, so you learn how to launch and recover aircraft, learn all the marshalling signals, and do the inspections and all that kind of stuff, and get well, you have different skill levels in the Air Force. You have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, one level is basically a basic trainee. They're not even in tech school yet. Or they could also be in tech school. And then once they graduate from tech school, they become what's called a 3 level, or an aerospace maintenance apprentice is what. Alright, I see. Just back off here so this container guy can come over if he needs it. Alright, so then, normally, right when you graduate from tech school, you're an apprentice. And then, once you become an apprentice, you have, I want to say it's like 18 months minimum time in training. Or no, I think it's something like that. I was trying to leave space for this car, but, what do we have here? The front end of this pickup is smashed. Obviously, that white van had something to do. That was the one that was involved that I read about. And then these 2 cars too. Okay, so there's like a total of 4 vehicles. Because that white delivery van was, I don't know, maybe they just witnessed it, but somebody wasn't paying attention and rear-ended somebody else, it looked like. The pickup rear-ended somebody. Okay, anyway, you have a bunch of tasks that you have to be signed off on. Basically, it shows that you know how to do these tasks without supervision. In order to, crap. This dovetail gonna let me over. Gotta wait on this dovetail driver to go by so I can get over. And then this car is gonna be a jerk, watch. So I'm gonna be a jerk back. If you're too stupid to see my turn signals, and you deserve it. And if you're too big an asshole to care, then, well, too bad. That's what you get for being an asshole. There's no place for that out here. Don't be an asshole. Check which way I want to go now. Have my map up. If this thing will cooperate. I was originally thinking maybe, the 91 freeway, which probably will do. Could have also taken the 60 across, but I'm already past this point, so we'll just go ahead and take this down to the 91. Looks like probably we'll have a couple other little slowdowns over here. One by the 5 freeway and one by the 105. It should be fine after that. Alright, so anyway, you gotta get all a bunch of different tasks signed off. It's basically get training and basically get proficiency training on all these tasks so you know how to do them. It could be like changing tires or brakes, or doing a particular type of inspection on the aircraft, like a pre-trip or a pre-flight or post-flight or whatever. Fuel servicing, liquid oxygen servicing, anything like that. You have to have all these different tasks complete, and then you have to have a certain amount of time in training, which I think is 12 months minimum, and then you also have to rank as well. So, what is it? I want to say senior airman or an E4 to get up to the 5 level. Or no, or you can be an A1C or E3 with I want to say 18 months of experience of 18 months time in your skill level, and then you can get on. You can upgrade to the 5. And then 7 level, you have to be a staff sergeant or E5 to become. That's what you call a craftsman. That's what I was when I retired. And then the highest level is a 9 level or superintendent, which basically you have to be usually like an E7, E8, or E9. Basically a senior NCO to be, and they're like they're technically all systems qualified, even though they're not always expert on any systems either. But all systems qualified just means they assume all responsibility. They're ultimately responsible for what happens on the aircraft. So if the aircraft crashes, their head's one of the first ones that get put on the platter, because they're the ones who sign off what's called an exceptional release, saying that they certified that the aircraft is airworthy and ready for the flight crew to fly. Alright, anyway, enough of that storytelling. The program I went through came before that MRT process, where people actually got all this task training done before they even got to their first duty station. When I went through it, my tech school was only about 10 and a half weeks, something like that. It was short. I basically did about 4 or 5 weeks of what you call fundamentals or fundies, which really is just real basic stuff on like tool selection. There was some aircraft related stuff that we did, but it wasn't just C-130s. We might do some practice, like removing a hydraulic filter off an A-10 or something, or just general knowledge stuff about aircraft maintenance in general, or even just general aircraft safety stuff, like all the danger zones. Like how close or how far in front of or behind a jet engine you're supposed to remain. Turbine plane of rotation. Noise fatigue, that was something that we got taught. Some people didn't pay that much attention, but it's something that was normally taught, among other things. And then you had another 5 or so week, whatever it was, program of actually what you call track. Or working out, just learning only the aircraft that you're going to be working on. So in my case, it was a C-130. And it was more system knowledge and then a limited amount of task training, not much though. And then I went to my first duty station, and once I got there, they had a different kind of training program there called an Aircraft Maintenance Qualification Program, or AMQUAP, that I had to go through. That was about a 3-month course that I went through after I was already there working on the airplanes that I was working on. I hadn't been there very long, but because I got there in October, right around I think that same week that O.J. Simpson was acquitted. I remember that. That's when I first got there. And I think in June, I want to say January of '96. When I started doing an AMQUAP class. Anyway, and this is where the story's coming down to, is the guy who was teaching that AMQUAP class that I was in, I think was the Scott Decker guy that the guy in the Facebook group this morning was talking about. Because the name sounds familiar, and I'm pretty certain I remember the guy who taught the class having a first name of Scott, and Decker sounds really familiar, and I'm pretty sure that was him. So, small world. Yeah, this guy I was interacting with on there, don't think was even in the Air Force. He just happened to, work at a civilian aerospace company, like, I don't know, like Lockheed or wherever it was, and happened to work with these two people, or know or no, not work with them, but know them from the industry, and brought it up. It's like it's amazing how small the world can be. Almost to the 5 freeway. Gonna get another slowdown here. Doesn't look like it'll be that bad though. Won't be as bad as what we just went through. Getting into Santa Fe Springs now. So I told him, you know, I have pictures in my computer desk drawer, or actually a big bag. I'll have to ask my wife about it. I need to go through those pictures because I know I have pictures of that instructor with myself and the other people who were in my class. Some of them were people in my who I worked with in the unit I was in, and others were in the other squadron, the other EC-130 squadrons over there. But yeah, I got pictures of all of us with them, and so I told him, you know, next time I'm home, I'm gonna have to look for these pictures and then maybe scan them in or something, and recall that conversation and show them to him. 74 degrees. Nice day. Florence Avenue coming up here. This is Florence Avenue is something that should be important in trucking history. I would call it infamous, though. Okay, back in when the LA riots happened, and I think when I was still in high school, there was a trucker. What was it? A gravel hauler or something like that? I forget. I think he was pulling double gravel hoppers, something like that. Anyway, he was on his way to pick up a load, if I remember. I forget where exactly, but he was over here off Florence Avenue. Actually, was right at the intersection of Florence and Normandy, which is not that far from here. Well, anyway, he was stopped at the intersection there, and a bunch of angry black gangbangers were hanging out at the intersection there, like just acting a fool, just having every reason they could to be hateful, and just show their anger over with no good reason. They ended up pulling this guy, Reginald Denny, out of his truck and beat the crap out of him, and basically left him for dead, but he survived, but permanently injured. Reginald Denny now lives in Arizona, but he did live over here in Southern Cal at the time, I believe. They beat the crap out of him. One guy even, I think, took out a brick or something and smashed him in the face with it. He needed a lot of surgery to get reconstructed, and he had a lot of permanent brain damage and stuff like that. Just completely disgusting that people are even allowed to act like that. To me, if you want to have that much hate and have that little care for another person's life, it should be instant death for you. If you have to be taught not to act like that, then you don't belong on this planet. Just, you think this cruel and unusual punishment is good? No, I don't. I think it's good to be reasonable, but I mean, come on. If you have that little value for another human's life, sorry, I just think you need to have your life ended. Someone who had nothing to do with you, just trying to go about their job, their day, mind their own business, live their life, and you want to wreck their life like that and try to kill them, you deserve to die. I don't care if you if you agree with this or not. You have no business living with that kind of mentality. I don't want them turning off. No, come on. That's why I leave all this extra space here, because like this Lexus here, coming flying over like that, I don't have to worry about getting my nose taken off by him or her, whoever it is. Getting all this crap out of my way. Alright. Should be clearing up here in a second, and what I do see by the 105 freeway does not look like it's going to impact me. It looks like it's only on the northbound 605 to the westbound 105 interchange is where that problem is. Yeah, I see all this going on here. Everybody over here trying to get on the 105, which, if you're not familiar with the LA area, 105 goes from the 605 to the 405 and basically terminates right by right at LAX. So if you ever want to find LAX on a map, it's real easy. Just find the 105 freeway and then find the west end of it, and when you find it, that's where LAX is. Alright, it's already 11 o'clock, but still have an hour to get over there. And once I'm past this mess here, it's going to be smooth sailing the rest of the way from what I can tell. Now the question is, can I get out of the area before all the weekend traffic builds up? I don't know. This guy's dropping his trailer. That's not a 2020 IFTA sticker. 2020 stickers are green. That guy's sticker's red. 2, 3. Southbound, stay out of the number 4 regular lane. There's a broke down truck in it. Okay, it's a skid mark, so it might have even been a collision here. I don't know. I can't see. Whatever it is it's like number 3 lane's blocked also. Yeah, it's a collision. Alright, number 4 lane and number 1 exit lane for 105 were partially blocked. Or fully blocked. It's like a woman in a car trying to cut in front of a truck and got spun around. Yeah, you can tell by the nature of that incident that the woman, basically where the truck is at, because you can see the truck's skid marks. They were not trying to move that way. They were going straight in that lane. And by the car being spun around the way she is, means that she was over on the truck's right and tried to merge in, merge into him and got hit by his front end. So I could see the truck's skid marks actually, like he was actually trying to move a little bit left and try to avoid making contact. But obviously still made the contact because her car's sitting right up against the front end of his truck and crunched a bit. Too much of this crap goes on here. I tell you, we have the worst. This is more proof we have the worst drivers in the country here. said Durka light at first. It says Decra light, but when I first saw Durka, I was thinking of Durka from Team America World Police. I am Ahmed from Durkaland. That movie cracks me up. You gotta want it. If you are not easily offended, you'll get a good laugh out of that one. It's stupid, but it's freaking hilarious too. It's a puppet movie, but it's you make sure you watch the not rated one. Yeah, the not rated one is definitely not for kids. Let's just put it that way. Let's see if I can get over. I've got too many. All these four-wheelers over here, I don't know if they're going to allow me to come over so easily. Alright, looks like that pickup back there might let me over. Yeah. Give him a thank you flash for letting me come over. You head west on the 91 from here. Early that way, he's far enough back, but as long as the truck behind me, anybody who could have been hiding between us and whatever on-ramp traffic, because I couldn't tell how fast that pickup was going. I just thought he was back there through my convex mirror. Now he was further back and not a factor, but the fact that I could see him there through the convex is more reason to be extra cautious about what's going on over there. Westbound 91, getting right on the border of Compton and Carson here. Got the Ralph's DC that I've been known to go to, or we have several different customers right over here in Carson that I also do. Come on, you let me over. Always helps when you get four-wheelers who are willing to leave space and let us move over. Do appreciate that. Those of you guys who are actually conscientious and courteous enough to do something like that. Because it's not easy for us to make lane changes. It's a lot harder to do than what it is for you guys. We really got to have extra space to work with. Is that Bellflower? Yeah, Bellflower Boulevard here. Followed by Clark Avenue. Lakewood and Downey. And got within about 5 or so miles of being getting on the 710 southbound, which goes down to Long Beach. Dude, do you know how to find your fucking gas pedal? Find it now. You're not pickup. All you have to do is hit your gas pedal. It's very easy to get in that gap in front of me. There's more than enough for you to work with. Lakewood and Highway 19 here coming up. Getting ready to cross. Zoom in on that. to that accident between the truck and the car, you do got to also watch out for, as a truck driver, don't follow other people so closely. These people are going to be stupid and try to get around you regardless. Don't put yourself at high risk of getting hit. Even if it's their fault, guess what? Now that guy's stuck there. You're going to have to do spend time doing paperwork and reporting and all that. And then there's going to have to be a battle in court at some point in time about whether he should have done anything more to avoid the incident, and probably will could end up having some financial liability because of not doing enough, even if it's her fault. That's the way this works, guys. A lot of people don't understand that, and they think, oh, it's all her fault. No, that's her fault as far as criminality or traffic law enforcement is concerned. She'll probably get a ticket for making an unsafe lane change and causing an accident, basically, but it works differently in civil court. When you got insurance companies battling over whose side has to pay how much of the damage, it's not 100%. Almost never 100% one side or the other's fault. I mean, I would say not almost never, but whoever it is I see coming up fast with her. I saw a shadow over here coming up pretty fast, but I think it was this truck's shadow. But it had me really worried that someone was maybe behind me and getting ready to go flying around over there, and I had to be extra cautious there for that reason. Manny's Tacos. Oh, damn it. Come on. Now I find out I'm not even in the right lane. And it looks like this hopper guy is doing the same thing. Damn it. Freaking people would have courtesy. And I had to worry about this guy being an asshole behind me, too. You're going overkill with the slowdown there, take the hopper. So we're clear all the way down to PCH. PCH will be Highway 1. That's where I'll be getting off the freeway at. And I'll be heading west on PCH from there until I'm just past Alameda Street. And the first street that I can turn right on after I get past Alameda, or Highway 47, or whatever that highway is, I forget the number. Turn right there, and then that'll take you straight to the guard shack at K-PAC. K-PAC I have been to more than once before, so I'm familiar with the process there. Familiar with where the dockings are at and how it all works. More than likely, I'll check in and then have to park out on the street and wait for them to give me a dock door assignment. Then they'll call me up, tell me, all right, come on back in and you're going to be in dock door such and such. And I come back in and check back in with the guard shack, and then I go around over the northeast end of their lot and dock in. And then you go inside the building and pay basically there's a lumper fee to pay as well, if I recall. Alright, 405 freeway 2 miles ahead. And this video is going to be a little longer than I expected, but Then again, with the traffic collisions and stuff, that has a lot to do with it. And I guess it's kind of entertainment for you guys anyway. And I hope I was able to also keep it somewhat entertainment with the storytelling. So I know some people do like to hear that, the storytelling. Slide over because this guy probably wants over. Yep. Especially with the 405 freeway coming up, it's even more reason to want to slide over, so I'm not dealing with the merge traffic coming, either trying to merge over or come out from there. But my exit is coming up 3.5 miles away. Guys, you might have heard me say PCH earlier. It's Pacific Coast Highway. Generally speaking, it's State Highway 1 for a good chunk of the way up California, and then it becomes, well, then I guess you can say 101, US 101 is also PCH in certain areas. Generally speaking, though, it's Highway 1. So we have to hope you're getting on the 405. You're in a bad spot if you're not getting on the 405. Alright, yeah, he's there. Now, a buddy of mine is also down here making a delivery right now. He had a 10 o'clock appointment time. And, oh, what's the name of that place? It's literally right underneath PCH, actually. I'm going to go right over the top of, practically right over the top of him when I'm, right before I make my turn. Crap. I can't do much, dude. I'm in the middle of getting passed by other traffic. I'm going to have to deal with it. Streets. Now, one of my friends, I had a friend I used to hang out with a lot who lived right here off Willow and the 710, just a little over that way, and was had some fun times hanging out with her. I mean, I was just platonic, but we were just good friends. I knew her from March Air Force Base. Particularly, I met her when we bowled in the base intramural league together. Never really hooked up. I think maybe because the age difference. I think, but we had such great friend chemistry though. So I was there's never anything more than just friendship, and I guess both of us were okay with it. It's coming up pretty soon here. Like there's a little bit of slowing over here on PCH, but it's probably just traffic lights. SD's probably wanted to sneak around me and just finally decided, I better get behind JCT instead of trying to squeeze between JCT and a motorcycle. Alright, my exit coming up, quarter mile. Seeing that before. Some homeless encampment here, looks like, perhaps. See Logics. Building here. Some small little structure, whatever it is. They're probably trying to make a right on the harbor, or Harbor Avenue, whatever. Is that why they were letting me over? Or are they just being extra nice? I think they were just being extra nice when they didn't have to be. It wasn't just a case of us being in each other's way. Right here at this intersection coming up is where most of the delays seem to be. Nice rear window. Somebody break in and steal some of your stuff or what? What's that guy doing? Just parked there, it seems. He's not behind anybody, so I'm not sure what he's doing. It looks like the dude who played Genghis Khan and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure there. I gotta have some entertainment here for you guys. Alright, I don't see any signs here saying what this street is, but map it is. If it'll let me. Pops up briefly and then goes away. Santa Fe Avenue. The Jack in the Box, McDonald's here. Bobtail's parked over on that street. And you can see there's plenty of trucks parked over here. It's 2-hour parking here. So I mean, it is an option for you if you get here a little early for a delivery. You can always park here temporarily. Until your appointment time. Yeah, if we have nothing else. Alright, Highway 103. Is that what it was? No, that's not 103 goes back up to Willow. That's not Alameda. Over here because I knew I remember that line ending before. Alright, yeah, it is 47 that I was thinking of for Alameda Street. Yeah, Channel Islands Logistics, that's the one I was thinking of Buddy Jason, who drives for us also, is over here making a delivery now. Not this place right here, but when I go up over this bridge, basically here, it goes up over the top of Alameda Street. And there's a container place right up over there. That is where he's at. Kind of wondering if I need to be in that right lane, but I'm trying to remember if that only goes over to the other, over to Alameda, or I might need to get over there because my turn's coming up really fast. This guy, yeah, Bobtail's turning, so I can come on over. I can see him here. I don't see his truck here yet. He might be in a dock door though. I don't see him down there. Oh yeah, I do see him down there. Alright. Yeah, he's sitting in a dock door right now. I recognize this truck number too down there. Coyle Avenue, this is it right here. Okay, just come straight down this street and the guard shack is right there literally in front of me. Chances are they're going to tell me to park on the street, which means come over here if I can find a spot to park in. I see cars parked all down this street, so I might be able to park over there along that street where by the railroad tracks. We'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get a dock door assignment before I call sent. Oops. 12/4 at 11:26. Morning. Yeah, noon.
Did they give the confirmation number?
Yeah, we get it for you. It's like 81947. 947.
That phone number? Alright, 1 second.
Okay, so he's going to check on the, I think for the COVID procedures, they just have you staying in the truck. It's the first time I've been here with the COVID going on, so. Because normally you go up to the guard, yeah, hang out right outside the door there. And then they do what they got to do, and then they'll usually either tell you go ahead and dock in, or they'll tell you turn back around and park on the street and wait for a phone call.
You have 5 hours and 34 minutes of remaining drive time.
get lucky and get a doctor assignment right away, but I'm gonna, if I was a betting man, I'd say I'll end up turning back around and waiting outside.
You're gonna go to door 52 and checking in at 52.
Okay. Appreciate it. Alright, got a doctor assignment. Nice. Door 52. Alright, so on duty yard move. Bump dock. Oh. Yeah, push. Double check. Okay, yeah, so it just confirmed what I... Just confirmed what I thought I remembered, which is... let me get my tabs away from that pole first before I go cutting across. I don't want my tail swing hitting that pole over there. Door 52 is going to be way up on the, it says check in my door 52, so it sounds like it's going to be the one that's right next to the ramp on the far north end of the lot. That could be, well, maybe a little bit of a fun time trying to dock in at, because there's, the kind of space you have to work with there. And it's not so much what I call the vertical space between the back end of my door and the lane, and across the lane. It's how much space I have to, I think, move my truck going forward to establish my setup. And we'll have to make some phone calls here after I get docked in. A friend of mine who's going to be picking up in Mirror Loma wants to know about the place. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been there many times. Alright, we're going to make a left right here, and right along these dock doors over here is where I'm going to be. Leave the doors closed and sealed. Now, they'll come out and tell me when they're ready for me to open my doors. I might end up having to use this lane by where these guys are hanging out. So my door is probably going to be the one right by that. Or no, I can set up a offset blind side. Yeah, it's the one right next to here, so. We'll go ahead and set up an offset blind side. A guy's shadow back over there, so I'll wait for him first. Okay, he's going up the rail. Gradually work my way over there. I want to see that container over there in door 51 as much as I can. Plenty of room over here. I was erring on the side of that side because wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be in a position to probably still need to move a little bit that way. I wanted to be extra sure I wasn't going to have anything to hit over here. Backed in pretty good distance back. Leave enough room where that's done like that. Where the unloader can break the seal. For 2020 JCT 5858. Alright, authorized signature, I think it's them, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna go get checked in, and that should be the end of this one. I say from here, there's not too much else except for waiting for them to let me know when I can pull forward, open my doors, and back in, and then just sit and wait. So, all right, that's it. We'll have more footage for you guys later on with the pickup in Lamont for you. Okay, all right, so enjoy. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks.